Hey there, Heather with Heather Blatz Real Estate Group. Welcome to Business Chat. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about organization. Take a deep breath. I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I should say, I know it's not going to happen overnight. So, I read a lot of books, and you will soon find that out. And obviously, Keller Williams has a lot of books that are absolutely amazing. But one of the books I'm reading is The E-Myth. And I can include it in the links below. The and It's not really helping with my actual organization on the front end, but one of the things that I need to do is build a better mission and vision statement and value proposition for my business. So that book is helping me do that. So I'm going to put that in the links below, and some of what I'm going to talk about may come from that, but it also comes from a strategy that Keller Williams uses. It's called the 1-3-5. And one thing about my personality is I don't pay attention to detail. So I might get some of these wrong, but the point is that I'm trying to implement them, and I'm doing a fairly good job according to myself. So I call it the hybrid, because the 1-3-5 is a great strategy. Basically, it takes Keller Williams developed it, or maybe they developed it off of reading other books, but they talk about you take one goal and have 3 priorities and then 5 strategies for those 3 priorities, and they might not even call it 3 priorities. So anyways, I'll put that in the links below. So one of my weaknesses in organization is taking on too many things. So I'm a yes person, and I always feel like I can get so much done. And of course, we're left at the end of the day being semi-accomplished and then not feeling very good about the rest of our accomplishments. So I wanted to focus on what my weaknesses are over the next couple of days and see if that would help me get a little bit more organized. So one of those things last week was scheduling. So I started creating some Google calendars between me and some people I work with, as well as my family, and putting every little thing down on that calendar. Today, I'm starting with taking on too much at one time. So I'm just going to give you all an example of how I use the 1-3-5, and then of course I'll talk about that probably over the next couple weeks because I'm just implementing it today. So I take on too much at one time, and I want to solve that. So that's my one thing. The 3 priorities I wrote down was, okay, well, in order to do that, I need to start making a list, and I need to strategize that list, and then I need to say no to everything that comes through that's trying to get me to do something that day. So the list part broke that down into the 5 strategies, and that is, for me, creating the list in the mornings and writing down like chicken scratch like this. That's, a bunch of notes everywhere. And then dividing it into personal and business. And so I have been doing this for a little while, but I haven't put all the pieces together. So I write a bunch of stuff down, and then I write B and P by them. The next strategy I wrote down is, okay, after I divide it, I need to be able to prioritize it today, this week, this month, this year type thing, because so many things come into my mind. So I started putting by T on it. I put T for today, W for this week, and M for this month or year or whatever, because I know I'm going to revisit it. And immediately I started feeling a little bit less anxiety and a little bit less stress. Like, okay, I have all these things going on and my list is really long, but there was a couple W's. And then I was able to take that list and put it over into a today only. And then I put it in time blocks. So the next thing is put it in prioritize it in time blocks. And I did that, and I was like, wow, it's just like fresh breath of air doing that. And then, of course, everything else goes on a list that tonight I will follow up with and review that in the morning and add it to tomorrow's list. So I'll let y'all know how that works. So I talked about strategizing the list. So we had priority, make a list, to strategize it. So I wrote a couple notes down for my 5 strategies. Check mark things that I can just quickly email or text. And so they should be, a quick, just, I guess you would call it a one-way conversation. So it was things that I had to do, but I didn't need to talk to anybody, or I didn't need anything back. And so I put check marks by those and then scheduled an hour to do that. Let me just shoot out these quick messages and shoot out these quick texts, however I needed to do that, and cross those off the list. And then, put everything else on the timeline that I talked about earlier. And so I'm actually still working on the strategizing list because it's only 8:45. So I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. I'd like to do these every day, every weekday, and hopefully it's something that can help you guys out there. I told you number 3 was say no to things and follow up, in the evening as far as when I can do that. And the reason why I said that is because a lot of times people call and they want to do something right away. And we're inclined to say yes, but it can throw a wrench in our business schedule for that day. And so I'm definitely going to work on that, and I'm going to work on this 1-3-5 strategy hybrid for this weakness for today. And I really encourage you all to write one thing down and see if you can implement this and comment. You can throw comments on YouTube or Facebook or message me, and we can kind of go through this together. I don't believe anybody is perfect at it, but I think that throwing ideas off of each other really helps, and learning these strategies, because even when you read a bunch of books like I do, you just don't retain it all until you start implementing it. So, well, thanks for watching, and I'm going to go ahead and post a bunch of stuff in the comments below, and I will see y'all later.